Everyone thinks they understand people. But human behavior isn't random. It's coded. Before we go deeper, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because the next few minutes might make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. 1. People don't see you as you are. They see you as they expect you to be. Your appearance, tone, and energy instantly trigger old memories in others. Someone who once knew a confident leader will treat you with respect if you remind them of that energy, even if you've said nothing. Their brain doesn't see you. It sees pattern recognition. That's why first impressions stick like glue. They're shortcuts, not judgments. 2. The more you chase approval, the less you get it. Humans are wired to sense desperation. When you seek validation, your tone, posture, even micro-expressions broadcast, "I need," and people subconsciously distance themselves. The paradox? When you stop seeking it, confidence radiates as freedom. That's when attraction happens, not from force, but from detachment. 3. The brain doesn't distinguish between rejection and physical pain. The same areas light up when you're excluded as when you're burned. That's why ghosting feels unbearable. Evolution taught us that isolation meant death, so your body reacts as if it's under attack. Loneliness isn't weakness. It's ancient biology asking, "Am I safe?" 4. People remember how you make them feel, not what you say. Emotional imprint outlives logic. You can win every argument and still lose trust. Words fade, but emotional residue sticks. If your presence calms someone, you become safety. If your presence stirs anxiety, even truth sounds like threat. 5. The mind can't resist what it can't predict. That's why we get addicted to uncertainty, gambling, texting someone unpredictable, scrolling social feeds. Every maybe releases dopamine. It's not satisfaction that hooks us, it's anticipation. Uncertainty is the drug. Reward is just decoration. 6. People who interrupt often fear being unheard. It's not arrogance, it's anxiety. Their brain races ahead, terrified their thought will vanish if not spoken immediately. Impatience in speech often hides insecurity, not dominance. The loudest voice in the room often belongs to the most fragile ego. 7. The mind values what it struggles to get. Scarcity amplifies importance. When something becomes easy, it loses emotional charge. That's why people chase those who give them less. It's not logic, it's the scarcity loop. Desire grows where uncertainty lives. 8. People fake emotions so well they forget what's real. Smile in pain long enough and your brain rewires. It believes the mask. That's why breakdowns hit suddenly. The mind collapses under the weight of all the pretending. Never confuse coping with healing. 9. Arguing rarely changes minds. Identity does. When beliefs become part of someone's identity, facts bounce off like rubber. You can't logic someone out of a belief they didn't logic into. That's why persuasion is emotional, not intellectual. If you threaten a person's identity, they'll defend the lie as if it's life itself. 10. We mirror emotions faster than we notice. Yawn near someone, they yawn. Cross your arms, they follow. It's empathy coded in motion. The human brain syncs subconsciously to avoid conflict. Mirroring says, "I'm like you." It's evolution's secret handshake. 11. The smarter the brain, the louder the inner critic. Intelligence magnifies awareness, not just of ideas, but of flaws. That's why brilliant minds often suffer more self-doubt. Their insight cuts both ways. Outward genius, inward chaos. 12. Complaining rewires your brain to notice negativity. Every time you vent, neurons strengthen that pathway. Soon your mind seeks problems like a hound tracks scent. Gratitude, however, builds new roads, rewiring focus toward what feeds you. Your thoughts become architecture. Choose what you build. 13. People don't crave attention, they crave significance. Attention is currency, significance is belonging. One fades, one roots. You can have 1,000 likes and still feel unseen. The deepest hunger isn't fame, it's connection. 14. People who over-apologize grew up managing emotions not their own. Their sorry isn't guilt, it's survival. When you've lived walking on emotional eggshells, peace means predicting others' moods before they explode. That's not politeness. That's trauma speaking softly. 15. Confidence isn't loud. It's the absence of noise. Real confidence doesn't need to prove anything. It's the quiet knowing that I can handle this. People confuse arrogance with confidence because arrogance needs eyes. Confidence doesn't care who's watching. 16. Most conversations are rehearsed performances. People listen less to understand and more to reload. As you speak, they're scripting their next line. That's why genuine listening feels rare. It's an act of surrender, not speech. 17. You become like the moods you absorb. Emotions are contagious. Spend time with anxious people, your nervous system mirrors it. Spend time with calm souls, your pulse slows. Emotional hygiene is as real as physical hygiene. Choose your atmosphere wisely. 18. Nostalgia is time's anesthetic. The brain edits pain out of memory. You remember the glow, not the ache. That's why old relationships feel sweeter in hindsight. Your mind deleted the tension to protect you. Nostalgia isn't truth, it's mercy. 19. Self-sabotage is protection in disguise. When success feels unsafe, too exposed, too uncertain, the brain pulls the brake. It'd rather keep you in familiar misery than risk unfamiliar joy. Healing isn't learning new habits. It's teaching the mind that peace isn't dangerous. 20. The hardest person to lie to is yourself. Every time you fake happiness, your body protests. Tight shoulders, shallow breath, sudden fatigue. These are truth alarms. The body speaks when the mouth won't. 21. Loners often crave people who feel like silence. It's not isolation they want. It's peace. They've met too many loud rooms that left them emptier than solitude ever could. 22. People judge others most harshly in the traits they hide. We project what we repress. The liar despises deceit. The insecure mock the vain. When you criticize what you secretly fear in yourself, that's your shadow showing. 23. Most attraction isn't about looks, it's about emotional familiarity. You're drawn to what feels familiar, even if it once hurt. That's why people repeat the same toxic patterns. The mind confuses known with safe. Healing begins the moment you stop calling comfort love. 24. The way someone treats service workers reveals their real hierarchy of respect. Kindness without audience is the purest measure of character. How you treat the powerless shows your soul. 25. People who overshare early aren't being open, they're building shortcuts to trust. It's a strategy of survival. Connect fast before rejection arrives. Vulnerability weaponized by fear, not honesty. 26. Revenge never satisfies. The brain expects victory to erase the pain, but dopamine fades while resentment remains. Justice heals, revenge rebleeds the wound. 27. Motivation isn't born, it's borrowed. You absorb energy from people who act. Inspiration isn't a spark from within, it's contagion from contact. That's why environment beats willpower. 28. People prefer familiar misery to unfamiliar happiness. Comfort zones are cages lined with soft fabric. You stay because it doesn't hurt enough. Growth begins when the unknown finally looks safer than staying the same. 29. Your brain edits out 99% of reality. You see what you expect, not what exists. Attention is a flashlight, and everything outside the beam might as well be invisible. Reality is less truth and more perception curated by belief. 30. The human mind is both jailer and key. It builds walls to protect, then forgets it can open the door. Every limitation you feel, fear, doubt, guilt, began as defense. The secret isn't breaking free, it's remembering you always had the key. 31. Trust is built in silence and destroyed in noise. Loud promises, big speeches, dramatic apologies, they impress, but they rarely last. True trust doesn't shout. It accumulates in quiet consistency. A person who simply shows up when they say they will, listens without judgment, and keeps their word without announcing it. That's where real trust begins. Once broken, it doesn't return to its original form. It reforms, scarred and cautious, like glass that's been mended but never quite transparent again. 32. The mind remembers tone longer than truth. You might forget the words, but you'll always remember how they made you feel. Someone can tell the truth cruelly, and your brain will store it as pain, not honesty. That's why kindness in delivery often matters more than correctness. Communication isn't just logic exchanged, it's emotion transmitted. Words are the body, but tone is the soul. 33. People who hide their emotions aren't cold, they're careful. They learned early that vulnerability is currency, and some people spend it carelessly. So they guard their feelings, not because they lack depth, but because they've seen what happens when it's misunderstood. When they finally open up, it's not a confession, it's a ceremony. If you're invited in, understand how rare that is. 34. Your subconscious controls more than 90% of your behavior. Every habit, reaction, and instinct, most of it runs on autopilot. You don't think before pulling your phone when anxious or before smiling when someone smiles at you. That's your subconscious steering the wheel while your conscious mind pretends to drive. The trick to growth isn't fighting the subconscious, it's reprogramming it through repetition and awareness until the automatic becomes aligned with who you actually want to be. 35. People don't fear change, they fear loss of identity. Change threatens who you think you are. When someone says, "I've changed," the mind whispers, "Then who am I now?" That's why people stay in bad habits, toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, not because they love suffering, but because they recognize themselves inside it. Letting go means killing a version of yourself. Transformation is a small death that leads to a larger life. 36. Memories aren't stored, they're rewritten. Every time you recall a moment, your brain reconstructs it from fragments. Emotion edits it. Time blurs it. Belief reshapes it. What you remember may never have happened that way. That's why two people can live the same day and recall two different worlds. Memory is less of an archive and more of a painter, adding, erasing, reimagining until only the emotion feels real. 37. People who crave control were once powerless. Their need to plan, manage, and predict every detail isn't arrogance, it's defense. Chaos once hurt them. So now, order feels like safety. The irony? The tighter they grip, the more fragile their peace becomes. True control isn't in mastery of the world. It's in surrendering to what you can't script. 38. The body keeps every emotional score. Anxiety isn't just in the mind, it's in your shoulders. Guilt lives in your stomach. Sadness lodges in your throat. Emotions unexpressed become aches unexplainable. That's why healing isn't always talk. Sometimes it's shaking, crying, moving, breathing. The body remembers what the mouth denies. 39. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. The world mirrors your internal state. If you walk around expecting betrayal, you'll find people eager to prove you right. If you believe you deserve good things, your energy changes how others respond to you. The universe doesn't reward desire. It reflects belief. 40. Emotional detachment isn't coldness. It's wisdom learned too young. Some people grew up in storms where peace was a fantasy. They learned to disconnect as survival. When emotions come too strong, they shut down. Not because they don't feel, but because feeling was once dangerous. To understand them, don't demand warmth. Offer safety. 41. People lie most when they're afraid of losing connection. I'm fine. I don't care. It's nothing. Lies of protection, not deception. The truth would expose their fear of being seen too raw. Lies, in this sense, are bridges. temporary structures built to survive vulnerability. When trust deepens, the truth quietly replaces them. 42. The need to be right destroys more relationships than betrayal. People cling to correctness like armor, forgetting that connection matters more than victory. You can win the argument and lose the person. You can prove your point and kill peace. Sometimes being wrong in love is wiser than being right in pride. 43. Your mood is contagious even when you say nothing. Humans emit emotional frequencies: tension, calm, joy, irritation. You can feel it when someone walks into the room before they speak. That's not mysticism. It's mirror neurons syncing your state with theirs. Energy is invisible language, and everyone's always listening. 44. The smartest people often feel misunderstood because they think faster than they speak. By the time words reach their mouth, their thoughts have already moved on. That creates a lifetime of feeling unheard. Their mind races through possibilities while the world lags behind, and they appear distracted when in truth they're just far ahead. 45. Guilt is the mind's way of replaying a moment it can't fix. It's not punishment, it's the brain's attempt to rewrite history, but guilt never heals. It loops. It's a broken record of what-ifs. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about teaching the brain to stop rehearsing pain as if repetition could redeem it. 46. The people who laugh the loudest often cried the earliest. Joy can be armor. Some people discovered that humor could disarm cruelty, that laughter could mask pain. They mastered the art of brightness, not because they're untouched by sorrow, but because they learned to outshine it. 47. We crave closure from others but deny it to ourselves. We wait for explanations, apologies, confessions, not realizing that closure is self-made. You create it by accepting the silence, by writing your own ending when none is offered. Peace doesn't come from answers. It comes from deciding you've heard enough. 48. People often fall for potential, not reality. You see someone's best moments, imagine the rest, and call it love. But potential isn't a promise. It's a projection. You can't build a relationship with what could be. The dream version of a person lives only in your mind, not in their behavior. 49. Overthinking isn't intelligence. It's fear disguised as logic. The brain spins stories to protect itself from pain. If it can predict every outcome, maybe it can avoid heartbreak. But life doesn't reward preparation, it rewards participation. You don't think your way into peace, you act your way into it. 50. Your self-talk sets the ceiling of your potential. Every "I can't," "I'm not enough," maybe later becomes command code for your subconscious. The brain obeys repetition, not reason. That's why affirmations work. They rewrite mental software through persistence. Your inner voice is a spell you cast daily. 51. People who isolate often love the world too deeply. They feel everything, every sadness, every vibration of conflict. The noise of existence overwhelms them, so they retreat. Solitude becomes sanctuary, not loneliness. They don't hate people, they just need distance to breathe. 52. The greatest revenge is indifference. Anger keeps you chained to the offender. Indifference severs the link entirely. It's not coldness, it's freedom. When you stop reacting, you reclaim your power. Silence, not retaliation, is the final word of strength. 53. People repeat their childhood in relationships. We recreate familiar emotional patterns, even painful ones, because the brain confuses familiarity with safety. That's why the daughter of a distant father may chase unavailable men, or the son of a critical mother may crave impossible approval. Until you notice the loop, it writes your love story for you. 54. Every "I don't care" hides a wound that once cared too much. Apathy is armor built over heartbreak. It's not that they don't feel, it's that they felt everything and got burned. Now they protect peace with distance. Under every cynic lives a disappointed idealist. 55. Jealousy isn't hatred, it's fear of replacement. It whispers, What if I'm not special anymore? It's not envy of what someone has. It's terror of losing what once felt secure. The antidote isn't reassurance from others. It's the inner knowing that no one can replace your essence. 56. The brain confuses routine with safety. That's why we repeat behaviors we hate. Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar joy. To break the cycle, you must teach your nervous system that calm isn't danger, it's peace. Healing isn't learning to fight chaos, it's learning to live without it. 57. Some people push love away because they expect it to vanish. Abandonment teaches anticipation. When affection arrives, they flinch, not because they don't want it, but because they're already mourning its loss. Patience heals what fear defends. 58. Loneliness isn't absence of people. It's absence of understanding. You can stand in a crowded room and feel invisible if no one truly sees your soul. Connection isn't about proximity. It's about resonance. One person who listens deeply can cure a lifetime of isolation. 59. The most powerful people are often the most self-controlled. They don't shout, they don't chase, they don't seek revenge. Their calmness is not passivity, it's dominance over impulse. True power doesn't demand attention, it commands it through restraint. 60. The final truth. You don't find yourself, you build yourself. There's no hidden version of you waiting to be discovered. You create who you are, choice by choice, action by action, thought by thought. The mind is clay, and every experience shapes it. The masterpiece isn't out there. It's in the discipline of your becoming.
Sitting in a room with plants can improve concentration and reduce stress levels. People who chew gum while studying tend to improve memory retention. Listening to upbeat music can increase motivation and productivity. Eating dark chocolate in moderation can improve brain function and mood. People who take cold showers regularly may experience increased alertness and circulation. Reading fiction can improve empathy and understanding of other people. Drinking coffee in moderation can enhance cognitive function and alertness. People who doodle while listening retain information better and are more creative. Spending time near water, like rivers or lakes, has been shown to reduce stress. Keeping a daily journal can improve memory, focus, and emotional well-being. People who practice mindful walking experience lower anxiety and higher presence. Learning a new language enhances brain plasticity and problem-solving skills. Exposure to natural light during the day can improve sleep quality at night. People who laugh at themselves regularly tend to have higher resilience. Drinking water before exercising helps improve performance and endurance. Practicing visualization techniques can improve goal achievement and motivation. People who spend time gardening have lower stress and improved mood. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day improves mental well-being. Practicing Tai Chi can improve balance, flexibility, and mental clarity. People who meditate outdoors experience a greater sense of calm and connection. Chewing food thoroughly improves digestion and nutrient absorption. People who participate in team sports develop better social skills and emotional resilience. Walking barefoot on natural surfaces can reduce stress and improve posture. Spending time stargazing can boost creativity and perspective. Keeping a gratitude jar, writing 1 positive thing daily, improves happiness. People who volunteer regularly report higher life satisfaction. Learning to play a musical instrument improves memory and coordination. Practicing yoga breathing, pranayama, reduces stress and improves lung function. People who avoid excessive screen time before bed sleep better and feel more rested. Taking micronaps, 10-15 minutes, improves alertness and performance. Consuming omega-3 fatty acids supports brain health and reduces inflammation. People who use positive self-talk recover faster from stressful events. Drinking green smoothies can improve skin health due to high antioxidant content. People who regularly stretch in the morning report better mood and energy. Engaging in arts and crafts improves cognitive flexibility and reduces anxiety. Smelling citrus scents has been shown to boost energy and alertness. Taking breaks to look at distant scenery reduces eye strain and mental fatigue. People who maintain a hobby journal are more likely to stick with long-term projects. Drinking water with cucumber improves hydration and provides antioxidants. Listening to nature sounds improves concentration and lowers stress hormones. People who participate in meditation retreats experience long-term reductions in anxiety. Eating high-fiber foods improves gut health and may boost mood. People who practice mindful eating are more aware of hunger cues and eat healthier. Exposure to natural green environments improves short-term memory and attention. Spending time solving puzzles improves cognitive flexibility and working memory. People who take scenic walks tend to have improved creativity and problem-solving skills. Practicing deep breathing while listening to calming music reduces heart rate. People who learn new skills as adults maintain better cognitive function later in life. Spending time with animals increases oxytocin levels and reduces stress. People who write handwritten letters feel more connected and socially satisfied. Taking short breaks for meditation during the day improves focus and clarity. People who avoid multitasking perform tasks more accurately and efficiently. Learning to juggle improves hand-eye coordination and cognitive function. People who spend time in quiet libraries experience increased focus and calm. Chewing mint-flavored gum can improve alertness and attention. People who laugh with others report higher life satisfaction and social bonding. Drinking water before meals reduces overeating and supports weight management. Regularly practicing gratitude increases happiness and reduces depressive symptoms. People who spend time crafting or making art report reduced anxiety. Exposure to sunlight for 15 minutes increases vitamin D and improves mood. Learning to play strategy games improves cognitive flexibility and decision-making skills. People who write down their goals are more likely to achieve them. Stretching for 5 minutes in the morning can improve circulation and energy. Keeping a consistent morning routine improves productivity and reduces stress. People who spend time on hobbies they love report increased emotional satisfaction. Drinking water with a pinch of salt can help with electrolyte balance. People who spend time in quiet reflection have improved problem-solving skills. Practicing mindful breathing improves resilience to stress. Listening to classical music while studying can improve retention of new information.
Everyone thinks they know why people act the way they do. But the truth is, the mind plays by hidden rules. Before we go deeper, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss the kind of psychology facts that change how you see people. 1. The brain rewards certainty more than truth. Your mind doesn't actually crave reality, it craves stability. When a belief feels consistent, your brain releases dopamine, even if that belief is false. That's why people cling to comforting lies and reject uncomfortable facts. Certainty is emotional oxygen. It keeps the chaos out. Truth, on the other hand, often demands pain. and the mind will always choose comfort over pain unless you train it otherwise. 2. When someone controls your attention, they control your emotions. What you look at, you feel. That's why social media doesn't just waste your time. It hijacks your nervous system. Every image, every headline, every argument steals a fraction of your peace. Emotional control begins with attentional control. If you can't choose what to focus on, someone else will. 3. People remember emotional tone, not logic. You could explain the most rational argument in the world, but if your energy feels cold, people will reject it. The subconscious brain listens to how something is said, not what is said. That's why confidence persuades better than data, and calmness wins fights logic never could. 4. Your thoughts aren't random, they're habits. Every time you think a certain way, you carve a groove in your neural pathways. Over time, those grooves become default roads. You're not overthinking because you're broken. You're overthinking because your mind learned that pattern long ago. The secret to peace isn't suppression, it's rerouting the traffic. 5. The human brain is addicted to unfinished stories. When something ends abruptly, a text unanswered, a movie without closure, a love story cut short, your brain can't stop replaying it. It needs completion. That's why people obsess over X's or mysteries. The loop isn't about the person, it's about the story your brain never got to finish. 6. Emotional validation changes the brain faster than therapy alone. When someone truly says, "I understand you," it doesn't just feel good, it changes brain chemistry. Validation quiets the amygdala, lowers cortisol, and restores safety. That's why children heal faster when believed, and adults fall for people who make them feel seen. Understanding is the most powerful form of medicine. 7. People project what they refuse to face. The liar calls others dishonest. The arrogant accuse others of pride. The selfish see manipulation everywhere. The mind externalizes what it can't bear to see within. Every accusation is a mirror disguised as a sword. If you want to know someone's shadow, listen to what they judge most loudly. 8. The brain confuses familiarity with safety. You might be drawn to toxic relationships, not because they're exciting, but because they feel familiar. The emotional chaos resembles what you once called home. Healing requires teaching the body that calm isn't danger, it's peace. That's why healthy love often feels boring at first. It's not dull, it's different. 9. People don't want honesty, they want relief. Most tell me the truth requests aren't really about truth. They're about comfort. We want reassurance disguised as honesty. Real truth rarely soothes, it disrupts. That's why authentic communication is so rare, because people chase feelings, not facts. 10. The mind rewrites memories to protect your identity. When you look back at the past, your brain filters details to preserve your self-image. You forget your mistakes more easily than your triumphs, and when you do remember failure, you soften it. It's not vanity, it's survival. Without that self-protection, guilt could paralyze growth. 11. Love and obsession activate the same brain regions. MRI scans show that intense romantic feelings light up the same pathways as addiction. The dopamine surge, the craving, the withdrawal, all identical. That's why heartbreak feels like detox. Love isn't just emotion, it's chemistry, and chemistry doesn't care about logic. 12. When you suppress anger, your body feels it for you. Bite your tongue enough times, and your stomach tightens, your back aches, your jaw locks. Unspoken emotion doesn't disappear, it migrates. The body becomes the diary the mind refuses to write. 13. Your personality shifts depending on who you're with. You're not fake, you're adaptive. The human brain mirrors tone, energy, and posture to survive socially. That's why you act differently with your boss than with your best friend. Personality isn't fixed, it's a costume woven for context. 14. The reason time speeds up as you age is neurological. As a child, every experience is new. Your brain records more data, so time feels full. As you grow older, routine compresses perception. Less novelty means fewer memories per moment. To slow time down, you must live vividly again. Travel, learn, break patterns. Memory expands life. Monotony shrinks it. 15. People confuse intensity with intimacy. A relationship full of highs and lows feels powerful because adrenaline mimics connection. But chaos isn't love, it's stimulation. Calm love feels unfamiliar to those who grew up with volatility. Emotional peace feels empty until you learn it's actually safety. 16. Empaths aren't born, they're trained by survival. Children who grew up walking on emotional eggshells develop hypersensitivity to moods. They scan faces, tone, silence, always reading, always adjusting. As adults, they call it empathy, but deep down it's vigilance. True healing begins when they realize feeling safe is not selfish, it's their birthright. 17. Loneliness can mimic physical pain. MRI studies show that rejection activates the same pain centers as a burn or cut. The brain evolved that way because social connection was once survival. Solitude felt like death. That's why isolation hurts, not metaphorically, but neurologically. 18. Self-discipline is emotion management, not willpower. You don't need to be tougher, you need to be calmer. The ability to stick to goals comes from soothing your stress response. When you regulate emotion, focus follows naturally. Success isn't about motivation, it's about emotional neutrality under pressure. 19. Your mind can't tell the difference between imagination and experience. Visualize playing piano, and your motor cortex fires as if you were practicing. Imagine failure, and your body releases stress hormones as if it were happening. The subconscious doesn't care if it's real. It reacts anyway. That's why visualization is power. It trains the mind in advance. 20. The first person to apologize in a fight usually has the higher emotional intelligence. Apologies aren't weakness, they're regulation. It takes strength to put peace above pride. The ego screams to win. The soul whispers to understand. Those who master their ego win a quieter kind of war, the one inside. 21. The human brain is wired for stories, not statistics. That's why you remember a heartbreak more vividly than a number. Stories activate emotion. Emotion cements memory. Facts inform, but stories transform. The best communicators don't argue. They narrate. 22. People who fear abandonment often become their own executioners. They leave first, detach early, ruin what might have worked, all to avoid being hurt later. It's not sabotage. It's preemptive heartbreak. When you expect rejection, peace feels suspicious. 23. Confidence is not thinking you're the best. It's knowing you can survive the worst. It's not arrogance, it's quiet endurance. Confident people fail publicly and rise calmly. Their power comes from resilience, not perfection. 24. Depression isn't sadness, it's disconnection. The world loses color, meaning motion. The brain numbs itself to survive the overload. Healing begins not with happiness, but with reconnection, to nature, to purpose, to people. You don't need constant joy. You need aliveness. 25. The most persuasive people ask more than they state. Questions bypass defense. A question makes the brain engage, while statements make it resist. What do you think is often more powerful than, here's the truth. 26. People remember beginnings and endings, not middles. It's called the serial position effect. The first impression and the final moment frame the entire experience. That's why how you start and how you leave matter far more than what happens in between. 27. The need to be understood is stronger than the need to be loved, because love without understanding feels empty, while understanding without love can still bring peace. The soul doesn't crave romance. It craves recognition. 28. Trauma doesn't make you weak. It rewires survival. Your nervous system becomes hypervigilant, always scanning for danger. Healing isn't deleting the past. It's teaching your body that the war is over. Calmness after trauma isn't laziness. It's a victory. 29. The brain reacts to silence as a question that must be answered. That's why negotiators and therapists use pauses. The discomfort forces the other person to reveal more than they intended. Silence is psychological gravity. It pulls truth out of hiding. 30. People don't fear failure, they fear exposure. To fail is tolerable. To fail publicly feels like death. The ego can survive pain, but not humiliation. That's why some dreams stay buried. Not because you doubt your skill, but because you fear being seen trying. 31. Your mind breaks rules it secretly hates. Every time you force yourself to obey standards that suffocate you, fake politeness, false modesty, performative smiles, your subconscious rebels. That rebellion doesn't look like disobedience, it looks like burnout. It's your brain saying, I can't keep living a life that doesn't match my truth. That's why people quit jobs out of nowhere or end long relationships suddenly. The decision isn't sudden. It's the final scream of a mind that's been silent for too long. The greatest peace you'll ever know comes from alignment, when your thoughts, words, and actions finally stop contradicting each other. 32. The brain can love a person and still know they're wrong for you. Love is biochemical, logical reasoning is cortical, and those systems rarely speak the same language. One fires dopamine, the other calculates consequence. That's why your chest aches for someone you swore you'd never return to. The brain can understand danger while the heart remembers warmth. Healing isn't choosing between them. It's letting both voices exist without letting either one rule you completely. 33. People become who they're most afraid of. A child afraid of controlling parents often grows into an adult who controls everything. The bullied kid becomes hyperdefensive. The ignored partner becomes clingy. Fear doesn't vanish when you grow up. It evolves. It hides behind habits and personalities you think are just who I am. But beneath every extreme behavior lies an echo of a past you never made peace with. The cure isn't suppression. It's confrontation. Naming the pattern is how you end it. 34. Every strong opinion hides an old wound. When someone insists, I'd never let anyone treat me like that, they're not speaking from power. They're speaking from memory. Extreme convictions often grow from buried experiences. The louder the opinion, the deeper the scar. That's why compassion disarms conflict. Understanding melts armor. If you listen long enough, even rage sounds like pain. Retold. 35. Your subconscious decides before you do. Science proves that your brain makes decisions seconds before your conscious mind chooses. The gut feeling you call intuition is your subconscious scanning patterns faster than language. When you ignore it, life punishes you with lessons. When you trust it, it feels like luck. But it's not luck. It's the ancient part of you whispering, I've seen this before. 36. The people who chase happiness the hardest often fear stillness. They travel constantly, chase goals relentlessly, fill every silence with noise. Not because they love motion, but because stillness reveals emptiness. Happiness isn't in the chase. It's in the pause between breaths. When you finally sit with yourself and feel nothing missing, that's peace. Not excitement, not euphoria, but quiet contentment that doesn't need applause. 37. Envy is a mirror, not a flaw. You never envy what means nothing to you. Jealousy points to suppressed desire. The career you abandoned, the courage you never used, the love you think you don't deserve. Envy isn't evil, it's information. The mature mind doesn't shame envy, it studies it. Ask yourself, what does this person's success remind me that I once wanted? That question transforms envy into guidance. 38. Emotional numbness is self-defense, not apathy. When the pain becomes too heavy, the mind pulls a blackout curtain. You stop feeling highs or lows, you just float. People call it depression. but it's actually the nervous system's emergency brake. It's saying, we can't process anymore right now. Healing means gently reopening those circuits, not forcing joy, but relearning safety. It takes patience to teach the body that life can be felt again without breaking. 39. Memory and imagination use the same neural pathways. That's why you can suffer from things that never happened, because your mind can make them real. Anxiety is imagination turned against you. Creativity is the same process pointed toward beauty. The power is neutral, direction is choice. When you visualize worst-case scenarios, your body rehearses them like reality. When you imagine peace, your body relaxes as if it's true. You are always creating your own weather. 40. The people you forgive too quickly are the ones who taught you to fear abandonment. You rush to pardon, not because they deserve it, but because conflict terrifies you. Forgiveness without accountability isn't kindness. It's fear dressed as virtue. Real forgiveness includes boundaries. It says, I release the pain, but I won't let you reload it. The goal is not endless tolerance. It's self-respect. 41. The need to be liked is a relic of survival. Thousands of years ago, rejection meant death, exile from the tribe. That wiring still lives in your nervous system. That's why a stranger's criticism online can ruin your day. Your biology hasn't updated to modern life. Understanding. This is liberation. When you know the fear is ancient, you stop obeying it. 42. Humor is humanity's last defense against despair. When you laugh at your trauma, you're not minimizing it, you're mastering it. The brain releases endorphins when you find humor in pain. It's literally self-healing through irony. That's why dark humor thrives in hospitals, war zones, and grief. It's not disrespect. It's rebellion against suffering. The moment you laugh at what tried to break you, you win. 43. You attract what you tolerate. People show you who they are in small ways, the late reply, the backhanded comment, the subtle guilt trip. Your silence teaches them how to treat you. Boundaries aren't walls, they're mirrors saying, this is the standard. Every relationship you keep is a reflection of what you believe you deserve. Raise the standard, and the cast of your life changes. 44. Control is the mind's antidote to chaos. When life feels unpredictable, people cling to schedules, routines, rituals. But the obsession with control can become its own prison. Flexibility is a higher form of control, the ability to remain steady while adapting. Mastery isn't rigidity, it's calm in motion. 45. The need for revenge is the ego's way of avoiding grief. When betrayed, the mind says, I'll make them pay, because anger feels stronger than sadness. But revenge doesn't heal. It delays heartbreak. True strength is letting the wound close without reopening it in someone else. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's letting go of a story that keeps you hostage. 46. Most people confuse chemistry with compatibility. Chemistry is the spark. Compatibility is the firewood. Sparks burn bright but vanish fast. Firewood sustains warmth over time. The problem is, dopamine screams louder than peace. You mistake excitement for connection, chaos for passion, but long-term love is quiet. It's the kind of warmth that doesn't flicker even when life storms outside. 47. You are addicted to your own suffering, not consciously, but neurologically. The brain becomes chemically accustomed to certain emotional states. If sadness was your constant, happiness feels foreign. That's why you find yourself missing the very pain you escaped. Healing isn't comfort. It's withdrawal from familiar misery. 48. People reveal their truest nature in how they handle power. Give someone control, even small control, and you'll see their truth. Power doesn't corrupt. It exposes. It magnifies what was already there, hidden under politeness and fear. That's why humility in power is divine. It means the person remembers what it felt like to be powerless. 49. Overthinking is your brain's attempt to create safety in uncertainty. It's not stupidity. It's hypervigilance. Your mind believes if it runs every scenario, it can prevent pain. But life doesn't follow blueprints. The more you think, the more possibilities you generate, and the more trapped you feel. Freedom begins when you realize you'll survive even without certainty. 50. Self-worth is not discovered, it's built. You don't find confidence by waiting for it. You earn it through promises kept to yourself. Every time you act in alignment with your values, your brain learns, I can trust me. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's self-trust repeated until doubt runs out of breath. 51. The calmest people once knew the loudest chaos. Their serenity isn't ignorance, it's experience. They've seen storms so fierce that now nothing rattles them. Their peace is armor forged in fire. You can't fake calm, it's learned through survival. 52. Gratitude doesn't change circumstances, it changes perception. Your life might stay the same, but your interpretation evolves. Gratitude trains the mind to notice the abundance already present. It doesn't deny pain, it balances it. It's psychological alchemy, turning ordinary days into proof of resilience. 53. Every decision is a trade between comfort and growth. The brain hates uncertainty, so it disguises stagnation as safety. But every leap forward starts as fear. Growth is uncomfortable because comfort zones are coffins painted as couches. Choose discomfort. It's the tax for evolution. 54. Trauma creates hyper-independence. People who were failed by others learn to rely only on themselves. They call it strength, but it's often exhaustion. Healing isn't becoming weaker. It's allowing trust again. True strength is interdependence, not isolation. 55. People who talk less usually think more. Silence is not absence, it's observation. While others fill space with noise, quiet minds gather information. Stillness is strategy. It allows time for truth to reveal itself. 56. The future doesn't exist, your anticipation does. What you fear hasn't happened. What you hope for hasn't either. Anxiety and excitement are twins wearing different masks. Both are imagination projected onto time. Peace lives only in the present, yet the human mind keeps running ahead. The cure for anxiety is participation in the now. 57. People hide in perfectionism because they fear rejection. If they make no mistakes, maybe no one will leave. But perfectionism kills creativity and drains joy. The truth is, flaws are connection points, proof of humanity. Nobody bonds with perfection. They bond with honesty. 58. The brain prioritizes emotion over reason every single time. Even the most rational decisions begin with feelings. You decide emotionally, then justify logically. Understanding this gives you power. If you can regulate emotion, you can direct your entire life. 59. Detachment isn't disinterest, it's clarity. It's seeing without the fog of desperation. You still care, but you're not owned by outcomes. Emotional detachment is how people keep peace while the world panics. It's not cold, it's composed. 60. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering without bleeding. Pain never fully disappears. It transforms. You carry it like a scar. Proof you survived, not a reminder of defeat. Healing is when the memory stays, but the reaction changes. The past stops owning your present, and your story finally belongs to you.
The color blue has been shown to reduce stress and increase productivity. People who sleep on their left side tend to have better digestion. Having a clean and organized workspace can improve mental clarity and reduce anxiety. Eating a balanced breakfast can improve focus and cognitive performance throughout the day. Playing a musical instrument has been shown to improve brain function and memory. People who laugh at least 15 minutes a day tend to have a stronger immune system. Drinking water with a splash of lemon can improve skin health by promoting hydration. People who take 5-minute breaks every hour during work report being more productive. Regular yoga practice can improve flexibility and reduce feelings of anxiety. Smiling, even when you're feeling down, can trick your brain into feeling happier. Spending time alone for a few minutes each day can help clear your mind and improve focus. Positive affirmations can boost self-esteem and help rewire your brain for success. Eating spicy foods in moderation can boost your metabolism and promote fat loss. People who maintain a growth mindset tend to achieve more in both personal and professional life. Spending time with nature has been linked to improved immune function. Avoiding multitasking can improve productivity by allowing you to focus on one thing at a time. Regular physical activity has been shown to help reduce the symptoms of depression and anxiety. Listening to music while working can improve focus and make repetitive tasks more enjoyable. A positive morning routine has been linked to improved productivity and a better mood. Drinking green tea can promote brain health by reducing oxidative stress. People who write down their goals are more likely to achieve them compared to those who don't. Taking a warm bath before bed can help improve sleep quality and relax muscles. People who spend time in the sun for at least 15 minutes a day tend to have higher levels of vitamin D. Taking a walk outside during lunch breaks improves mood and energy for the rest of the day. Doing crossword puzzles regularly can improve memory and cognitive function as you age. People who express gratitude daily tend to have better physical and mental health. Drinking herbal teas like chamomile or lavender can promote relaxation and reduce anxiety. Maintaining a positive attitude can help improve your immune system and help fight off illness. People who meditate regularly tend to have a greater ability to manage stress. Staying hydrated improves cognitive function and helps reduce feelings of fatigue. Being mindful of your posture can reduce stress and improve overall mood throughout the day. People who take time to reflect on their day tend to have better self-awareness and clarity. Regular exercise can enhance the brain's ability to form new connections and improve memory. Spending time near water, like lakes or oceans, has been shown to improve mental health. People who engage in mindfulness practices often have a higher sense of life satisfaction. Taking time for hobbies can boost mood and reduce the risk of burnout. Drinking apple cider vinegar in the morning has been linked to improved digestion and blood sugar regulation. People who walk for at least 30 minutes a day report feeling more energized and less stressed. Writing down your thoughts before bed can help clear your mind and improve sleep quality. Spending time with people who inspire and motivate you can help you reach your goals faster. People who eat small meals throughout the day tend to have more stable energy levels. Regularly practicing gratitude has been linked to better mental health and increased happiness. Taking a short break to stretch during work can help reduce physical discomfort and improve focus. People who make their bed in the morning tend to feel more organized and accomplished throughout the day. Keeping plants in your living space has been shown to reduce stress and improve mood. People who set a specific time to go to sleep and wake up tend to have better sleep quality. Drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning boosts metabolism and aids in hydration. Spending time doing acts of kindness has been shown to increase happiness and overall well-being. Practicing mindful eating can improve digestion and help control portion sizes. People who avoid negative self-talk are more likely to have a healthy self-esteem. Regularly decluttering your space has been linked to improved mental clarity and focus. Spending time outdoors for just 20 minutes a day has been linked to reduced symptoms of depression. People who engage in social activities tend to have better cognitive function as they age. Drinking water before meals can help curb hunger and prevent overeating. Listening to calming music has been shown to reduce heart rate and improve relaxation. People who eat a balanced diet report higher levels of energy and improved mood. Taking time to breathe deeply and relax can improve focus and reduce anxiety. Spending time on creative hobbies increases dopamine levels, which can improve mood. People who focus on their strengths rather than weaknesses tend to be more successful. Practicing mindfulness during stressful moments can help maintain emotional balance. Engaging in physical activity, especially outdoors, has been shown to improve mental clarity and creativity. People who focus on positive thinking are better able to manage challenges. Drinking green tea regularly may reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Spending time with friends and family strengthens relationships and reduces stress. People who maintain a positive mindset tend to have better long-term health outcomes. Practicing gratitude can improve relationships and boost happiness. Spending time in nature can help reset your mental state and reduce burnout. People who focus on the present moment tend to experience less stress and higher happiness. Drinking a glass of water before meals can help prevent overeating and improve digestion.